The next player on the agenda is just an all-time Carlton great in my world, anyway.
Here we go.
It's none other than Mr. Mark Murphy. He's the veteran, which it's crazy to say it. He's the veteran of the team.
He is.
He carries the Carlton torch, I believe, now that Kate Simpson's gone. He's played 285 games, and say what you like about him, he's played 285 games for the football club. And I'm very excited to have Murph playing in this team where I think everyone around him is starting to get a bit better.
Yep.
And he's not now looked at as the second best guy on the team or the first best midfielder in the team. He's got some others around him to help him. What are you looking at for Murph in 2021?
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see a similar year to what Simo had last year, where I don't think Murph would have signed a one-year deal if he's being told you're going to be pushed out. We've got too many players coming in. We can't see a spot for you. I think there's a spot for him, but I don't think he's going to be gifted a spot. And I think if he's gifted a spot and he's out of form, you just can't do it with where we're at in our development. I think if there's a player knocking down the door, Murph could be the first one out if he's out of form. If he holds his form like Simo did last year and there's no one banging down the door screaming for a spot, I think he plays every game like Simo did. Whether or not it's his last year, who knows? Who knows? I mean, it's going to be a massive year for Murph. He's bringing up 300, hopefully.
15 games away.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think he's at that spot that Simo was at. And I think at the end of 2021, we're going to have a very good idea of whether or not we're going to see Murph go around again in 2022. Much like with Simo, I think if he holds a similar vein of form that we saw from Simo in the first to middle sections of the year, he'll most likely play every game. But he's got to do it, and that's the question that I've got, is whether or not he's got enough in the tank with the players coming in. You know, you're gonna have Williams running through the middle. You know, players like Dow that we've said we've got big expectations for in terms of taking a little bit of a step. Nick Newman coming back into the side. You know, you had Jack Nunes arrive last year, who essentially plays the same role as Murph anyway. How many of those types can you have? Can Murph hold his spot? Is the pressure going to build too much? There's more questions than answers at this point. I hope Murph can hold his spot. I want to see him get to 300. But I don't want to see him gifted a spot. That's my biggest concern.
No, that's fair. I think there's this common misconception with Murph that, he's really slowing down. You know, this is his last year. Let's take a step back. 2016 misses most of the season, Cinders Moses injury. 2017 comes back, wins the best and fairest. 2018 ankle injury again, derails his entire year. He's never been super quick, but he's been super quick with his decision making in traffic. And that's the thing with him. And I mentioned how he carries the torch. Go back to that Collingwood game, first quarter. If we need to be reminded what it means to have a player on the side that knows what it's about, Mark Murphy getting into Scott Pendlebury, being really physical with him there. It's all good to criticize his performances, but you need guys in the team that can show what it means to be a Carlton player.
For sure. And it's like what Simo gave us last year, right? Like he gave us that veteran head in the back half. If Murph can at least show the leadership to get us through those games. Essendon in the fourth quarter, that when it was tight, we were two goals down, he stepped up massively.
Yes.
That's all we need from him.
Yeah.
Need him to step up in those moments because he's got the experience to do it. Still got kids around him. You've got a little bit of a supporting cast now with Williams and Sard coming off the halfback flank. If he can step up in those moments, I think he holds his spot.
Mark Murphy in open space delivering the football is what we want to see.
Yep.
That's where he's at his best.
Yep.
So that's why
I don't want to see him at centre stoppages.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm happy to see him on the wing, maybe a bit more half forward. I'm happy for him to have bursts in the middle, maybe late in games where we just need a clearance. I think he is a great link in the chain. Him, Cripps, Walsh, Williams, the four of them working together. I think we're set up there very well.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm biased, so I'm going to step away now. I'm going to read out some comments because I feel like I've just gone overboard and started talking about my boy. Greg Whitaker says, with our roster now, can't see him in our best 22. He needs to fix his hand passing and patience before close. Fair enough. We've got Pommy. He says, Murphy to hold the fort first half of the season on the wing like last year. He'll spend the second half as a pocket forward to retire end of the year because Carroll and Dow have opened the door in 2021, and he'll coach the VFL next year.
He's going early on Jack
Carroll.
Wow. I like it.
He says he dreads to think of doing a show with Terry when Murphy announces his goodbye. Let's not talk about that. The other point as well, I saw someone write it here, and I do agree with it. If this is his last year or his second last year, can we not just enjoy him?
Oh, absolutely.
Can we not just be grateful for him? rather than lash out and criticize? Is that not something we can do? We can
For
be
sure.
grateful for his contribution.
Yeah, I think so.
I just can't imagine what it's like to be him and like to see that sort of criticism
Mm.
for a club you've had, 19 surgeries for.
He's bled for.
He has literally bled for the club.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I think you can. And again, it's similar to Simo last year, right? Like, I think we all knew that was going to be the last hurrah. We enjoyed Simo for what it was. He had moments where it was like, I think he passed it, but he still enjoyed it for what it was. If we see that Murph's going down that path, enjoy it.
Mhm.
Enjoy it.
Fair enough. So that's Mark Murphy.